Call to order and roll call for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, starting with Tyler.
Tyler Gump, present. Hogan Hevington, present.
Ken Kunzman, present.
Mitch O'Bray, present.
Kevin Fenderson, present.
Kathy Wells, present.
All right, visitors' comments. Anyone wishing to address the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board must complete a speaker's request form and return it to the administrative assistant. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board is restricted in discussing or taking action on items not posted on the agenda. Action on your statement can only be taken at a future meeting. In order to expedite the flow of business and to provide all visitors the opportunity to speak, the chairperson may impose a 3-minute limitation on any person addressing the board. Brings us down to item number 3. Parks and Recreation Advisory Board reports on items of community interest pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0415. The Park Board may report on the following items. 1, expression of thanks, congratulations or condolences. 2, information about holiday schedules, recognition of individuals. 4, reminders about upcoming Park Board events. 5, information about community events. And 6, announcements involving imminent threat to the public health and safety. And number 4, approve the minutes from the regular meeting of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board held on August 21st of 2023. Do I have a motion for that?
I'll move.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Kathy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Brings us down to number 5. Recognize outgoing Parks and Recreation Board members, Kenneth Kunzman and Kevin Fenderson.
Good evening, Board.
Sad to read that.
Yeah, it is sad, especially Ken's been with, or I've been with Ken since I first started here almost 6 years ago. And we have, well, we've done a lot of good work, a tremendous amount of good work here in the city, and you're going to be missed, but I know that you're still going to be around.
I'm around.
Yeah, absolutely. So I won't bore you with a laundry list of all of the good work that we did, but one of the probably, and Kevin was a part of this as well, one of the highlights was the building the capital strategic plan for the Parks and Recreation Department moving forward, which netted a little over $6 million in bond funds that are going to get us cabins at Pilot Knoll, resurfacing of tennis courts, fencing, ball field upgrades, lighting upgrades, a lot of good things. So going to miss you, Ken, but I know you're going to be around. You know where my office is, so I'm sure we'll be going out to lunch or coffee or something like that in between your playing golf and the other things that you do.
A lot of golf.
And then Kevin, wow, when you came on, what a whirlwind. You have got a nitrous in your system, fast moving, fast pace, absolutely phenomenal to work with. And most notably, the work that we did with the capital improvement program, but also the Friends of Highland Village Park Foundation. And the work we've been able to do there has been fantastic. Going to be missed, of course, you know where I am too. As well, and I hope to see you guys at lunch or coffee, or you stop by and just check on me from time to time, and then you know, every now and then come in and sit in the back and hackle a little bit if you want. But we have in tradition, I've got a certificate for you for your service, and then of course our standard outgoing inverted umbrella, because we know you're going to be outside because you're park people. So we want to make sure that during those periods of rain you have an umbrella, which this summer you wouldn't need at all, but hopefully we'll get it in the fall.
If you promise I can use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to have Terry come up here, and I'm going to give you both of these. If you could please come up here and give you your gifts, your parting gifts as well. And of course, this isn't goodbye forever. If there's an opportunity for you two to reapply, I would definitely like to see that in the future. All right, so here's yours. We're going to take a picture too.
Thank you.
And here's your parting gift for your service. You know, it's a high-paying job. Thank you.
Let me get the podium out of the picture.
We can just go over there.
Yeah.
Like Bring it in.
Ready?
No, hold on.
Come on, Ken.
Slow. Retired. And he probably played 18 today. I did.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. All right.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
I just have to say thank y'all very much. You too, especially. You guys have been here either longer than I've been on here, and you've taught me a lot of the tricks about going through this agenda and how to do it properly. So I always just wanted to personally say thank y'all very much for the guidance and all the time you've spent here.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mitch.
Thank y'all. That's kind of sad. So we're going to move down to item number 6. Going to recognize some volunteers that we have.
Yes, okay. So before I start reading from the script that Debbie prepared for me, I want to talk about her for a little bit. Come on up here, Debbie. Oh, yeah. So Debbie, you were hired, you're going on your second year or fulfilling your second year? Yeah.
Year and a half.
And she is so committed. She's a resident of Highland Village as well. She moved here, and her family's here in this area too. And she came from us from Murphy, and we were very blessed to have someone of her caliber. She has done some phenomenal work since she's been here. She's our recreation coordinator. From adventure camp and making some changes there, from moving our camp program that we did in-house to contracting it out, to continuing with our initiatives with increasing our volunteer base and just good relationships with them, and also the work that she's done with our senior programming. I think our seniors finally feel like they've found someone that can listen to them and that will work with them and understand their needs. And I hear nothing but compliments all day long about her and the work that she does. And that's just a little bit of the surface there. But I want you to see the face behind what's fixing to happen right here. Okay, but thank you, Debbie. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the City of Highland Village Parks and Recreation has been blessed to have some very special people who have dedicated to volunteer their time and talents, especially with our senior all-star community. And we cannot thank these individuals enough for positive, thriving environment they have helped create, especially coming out of the pandemic. So the first ones you might recognize because they've been up here before, and they are a staple in our senior programming, and they taught me how to play pickleball. And so let me just read what we have written here. They are the unofficial leaders of the All-Stars, Senior All-Stars, and Pat and Larry have stewarded our senior activities and pickleball program. Their guidance and leadership has been invaluable in growing our senior program over the last couple of years. They are point people with our senior program, and whenever there's an issue or there's a new program or something that they want to talk, the team comes to them, and they're kind of a liaison for us as well. We listen to everyone, but they seem to have their pulse on everything that goes on. So come on up here, Pat and Larry. What are you looking at? What was that look
Not
for?
going to bite, I promise.
Side-eye.
We're here to
We're
thank you.
friendly people.
Yeah, we're here to thank you.
But you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. So, do you have anything you want to say?
Yes, I do. It's a pleasure to bring pickleball players when we see them come in the house and they don't know anything about the game, and we see their progress, and that's what we really enjoy the most. I also want to say about Debbie, she's a godsend to us seniors. She has opened up so many programs for us, different types of programs, and she started a whole bunch of trips for us. So we are really thankful for her. Thank you, Debbie.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Larry, do you want to say anything, or are you good?
I think she said it all.
Okay. Because of these two, we now open the Senior Center on Wednesdays at when we have people sign up that want to give lessons. They come in early, and they give them lessons how to play the game, or instruction rather, on how to play the game, so that they're just not thrown into what happens at 1 o'clock Monday through Thursday. All right. Right here? No, thank you. I appreciate it. Mark Harris, okay, this is interesting. I'm sitting in my office, and I like classical music. And I started hearing these melodies, and Debbie's doing her thing. You know, she gets in there and she goes, "Hey, I know what to do. You don't have to give me a whole lot of instruction." She didn't say that, but that's her. That's who she is. Here's a list. Here's what I got to do. I'm going to make it happen, and that's how she rolls. Well, I started hearing this classical music, and I'm like, what is? Where's this coming from? And I step outside, and I see Mark out there. So I'm going to read this little excerpt. Mark is a very talented musician and teacher from Denton. Starting last November, Mark has performed a themed classical piano concert that includes storytelling and audience participation the second Wednesday of every month. He packs the house every time and is a huge hit with our All-Stars. And I think he also did cameos for some of our food events, like Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But when I went out there, I had to sit and just listen to him. So he's not a beginner. This guy is very, very talented. And for him to give of his time and his talents like that for us, I feel very blessed. Come on up, Mark. Do you have anything that you want to share?
Well, I'm very thankful to be here. And of course, without you, Debbie, thank you so much for ushering those residents in and making me feel a part of their community. I will say that when I first started doing this, I didn't know what it would turn out to be. And each month I come in and they welcome me, and it's become so much more than just a music performance. It's become a fellowship. And we have really tuned in to one another there. And I think anyone who has been there, they understand that it's really a spiritual connection with us all. So it means so much to me to be doing this. And thank you all, the city of Highland Village, for having me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You go right over here.
That's good.
I don't want everyone to leave, so if you get your awards, I'm going to have Terry with Debbie up here take a picture with everyone, okay? If you would, please, if you have time, that would be great. Okay, so Jonah Johnson, the MOVE class. Jonah is a certified yoga and, quit going, say it again? Qigong instructor who created MOVE, a gentle movement class. She started teaching us in August of 2022, and after a couple of meetings, she has modified her class for our all-star program, and now has a full gym every Wednesday. And I can attest to this because I'm like, why are we getting all this traffic? And I had to poke my head in there to see what this was about. So come on up here, Jonah. And do you have anything you would like to share with the board?
Well, I will. I want to thank you very much for accepting my program, and thank Debbie and all the volunteers. I think Highland Village should become a blue zone because there are, you have the sense of community, and movement is also an aspect of that, music, and you have a really fantastic program, and I appreciate being part of it.
Fantastic. And the Blue Zone, it's these areas across the United States where people live healthier, live longer because of their lifestyle. And that's a compliment for Highland Village. And that's certainly something that us in Parks and Recreation have aspired to. I've read the book, and so was Andrew Foreman, our recreation manager. So we're trying to hit some of those things as well. And that was unscripted. That is fantastic that you recognize that. And Flora? Yes. Is Flora Lazdani? Say it again. Yazdani is Zumba Gold. Flora is a Highland Village resident who has taught a variety of fitness classes, that's okay, in the area. She started teaching Zumba Gold with us in July of this year. We love hearing her pumped up music mix every Tuesday morning. You can see things have gotten a lot more livelier around the Duval Center. So, Flora, do you have anything that you would like to say?
Just want to thank everyone. I'm short. I'd like to thank the council members. I'd like to thank Debbie for giving me this opportunity to get involved with the seniors in our city and make them move and dance and have fun at the same time. They all say they love the music because music is loud. I hope it's not too loud for you, but we dance in a group, we dance individually, and so I kind of stand in the front and guide everybody, and then we get into groups and we dance in the circle, and so we have fun. So that's really nice that I'm able to help the seniors move, and it gives me such a good feeling to be able to help everybody who wants to come do let be movements. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Over here.
Phil, how are you getting any work done?
Great stuff.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 3 amazing volunteer groups that help us with events. These groups are incredibly well organized, responsive, well disciplined, and always ready to help. We honestly could not put on the level of events we do every year without them. And that's the truth. Some of these groups you're going to recognize from previous years, but our Air Force Junior High ROTC at Marcus High School, a representative, our senior cadets. This program offered through LISD is comprised of aerospace science, leadership education, health studies, and also includes community service opportunities. Marcus Air Force Junior ROTC has been partnering with the city for many years, bringing their unique skill set to our events. This disciplined group of hardworking students excels at even the most challenging assignments and never seems to tire. Our Air Force Junior ROTC members help us with the Tri-Town Amazing Race, Christmas at the Ranch, and the Easter egg hunt. They are currently recruiting members to help with this year's Texas Fallen Officer fundraiser event. And I gotta tell you, they're pretty phenomenal. They're awesome to work with. And their leader, remind me again? Come on up here. And introduce yourself and your program. Come on up, ladies and gentlemen. Please.
Major Andy Seuss, I'm the senior aerospace science instructor at Marcus High School. Me and Chief Salinas have been there. This is the start of our 12th year, and as you kind of alluded to, we started several years ago with Christmas at the Ranch, and we have just continued to add different events, and if you keep adding them, we'll keep coming. Everybody's going, because, part of our mission is doing community service in the local community, and like I said, we like to keep them busy, so.
Please, if you have anything you would like to say.
Just thank you all so much for trusting us to come out and help. We're always happy to do it. So anything y'all need, let us know.
No, thank you.
Good. Okay, let's get over here and get a picture then.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Next, I did 4 years ROTC at Marcus.
Oh, did you really?
Yep, 4 years.
That's where that handshake comes from.
I guess so, right?
Forgot you were in ROTC.
I think it was, just had their 10-year reunion. Is that long ago?
I feel like I remember
Yeah, I
it
know.
now, though. I'm like, oh, yeah, she used to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next on the list is National Charity League, Legacy Highland Village Chapter. Representative is Fran Trano? Okay, and then we have Deanna Clinton, sorry about that. NCL Legacy Highland Village is a mother-daughter group committed to community service, leadership development, and cultural experiences. Girls from 7th through 12th grades volunteered with their mothers to help with the Tri-Town Amazing Race, Christmas at the Ranch, and the Easter egg hunt. They already have over 15 volunteers signed up to help with the Texas Fallen Officer fundraiser event. In 2022 was their first year to partner with us, and we sure hope this continues for the many years to come. And I think you're recently, like just this year, right, developed?
We just got our.
Come on up.
Yes. I started this organization last summer, 2022, because Flower Mound Cottonwood was full, and so I felt like our little city of Highland Village needed to have their own chapter. So we are over 190 members in just over a year.
Wow.
It has been amazing. But we just want to thank you for allowing us to volunteer with the city of Highland Village. You put on the best events, and it is always the first thing filled because we love working with Debbie, and she's so organized and so easy to work with, and the events are just super fun. And thank you for allowing us to grow our daughters into having hearts of servanthood. It's so important to teach our younger generation that it's just very important to be involved in the community. So that's our goal, and we just thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thanks for everything y'all do.
All right, our final one on the list is Young Men's Service League Pacesetters, Representative Carter Cole. Is he here? Yeah, come on up. Young Men's Service League is an organization of mothers and their high school sons who volunteer together to serve the community. This 4-year program teaches leadership and life skills through service. We have partnered with Young Men's Service League for many years and have come to depend on their willingness to take on any task. Young Men's Service League Pacesetters help us with the Tri-Town Amazing Race, Christmas at the Ranch, the Easter egg hunt, and celebrate Highland Village. They are currently recruiting members to help with this year's Texas Fallen Officers PD event. So, Clayton, thank you so much. Fantastic group. They've been with us since day one, since we started the volunteers program, as well as the ROTC group here too. So fantastic. All right, let's get our, actually, do you have anything to say before I leave? You're good? Okay.
You want to hold your glasses off?
Let's take the picture real quick. Yeah, come on up here, everyone, please.
Awesome.
Debbie, you're in the front. Let's, right here behind, yeah, right.
Get out of here.
I'm going to move. Oops, sorry, guys.
Really stand, maybe?
Sarah, do you want us to stand, or
Yeah, I'll stand up.
make it look nicer too?
Or you guys can stay grouped together, that's fine.
Kevin.
You're fine, stay there, stay there. All right, you guys can move in together a little bit.
Make sure we don't bring it to the pockets.
Yeah, we're going to need maybe a third row here. I can't get everybody in.
Yes.
I need a bigger phone. Yeah, everybody's huge in.
Flora, step forward, Flora. There you go.
Some of the shorter people, you don't have to.
Turn aside like you're.
Yeah, turn sideways.
There you go. There we go. How's that?
All right, I think so. I am not a professional photographer, y'all.
All right, thank you all, appreciate it. All right,
you.
so we have one, Clayton, you gotta leave, right? Carter, I mean, sorry. Naming a few presidents. You're good, thank you. Just a big thank you, because I forget which one of you said it, but it's probably Debbie. We can't put on these events without the volunteers that we have. and to have volunteers from the community to be able to give of their time and their talents this way is tremendous. And you heard an unscripted, completely unscripted, they're talking about the quality of the events and the city itself and the park system. And we really appreciate each and every one of you. And we hope that you continue to come back, as you are making a difference in our city, especially in our park system. So thank you very much from me. Cookies and water. You're welcome to stay, but you don't have to. It's completely up to you. Thank you again.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you. All right.
That's cool. I love doing that.
Yeah,
Let's just give them a
good
couple seconds.
volunteers.
Yeah.
Instead of just hearing about them, you get to see them. And, yeah.
Thank you all again.
Great.
All right. So we're getting, item number 7, an update on the tree reforestation plan.
Yes, I was asked to take a little bit deeper dive. It may have been Hogan and Tyler that asked me to do that, to come back, and that's great, and just kind of give an explanation of where we are. So I revived the PowerPoint that I did a couple of years ago, just after Winter Storm Uri, and I made a couple of changes to it. Okay, so here we go. So at a glance, program goals are to replace and reforest native and adaptive to our area, beautiful trees, low maintenance, pest and disease resistance, and the ability to get irrigation to the trees when we reforest them is extremely important. To have a successful tree program, and doing this for many years, if you can't get irrigation to it, the percentage of losing the trees just increases tremendously. That's true. So it's really important that we get water to them, or at least have a watering program. So Unity, what we had earmarked, and I show pictures of this, is Chinese pistache, and we had sawtooth oak, but unfortunately they're not available. We checked with our vendors across the North Texas area, but what we have is a chinkapin oak, which is very similar to the sawtooth oak. Both of these trees, or all three of them, are no, only the top two. Well, no, it's all three of them. Are Texas Superstar trees and are highly recommended by Texas A&M AgriLife. And that's the list that we go by, okay? And then here's the Texas, you can Google it, Superstar selection policy. And I'm not gonna have you read all this because I printed it out and gave it to you, but it talks about, you know, how they select these trees. And you can see that it's got folks from all over the state of Texas that are a part of that board, okay? So Chinese pistache, it's very showy, low maintenance. It's a Texas Superstar tree. It's got great color. It's got that fire orange and yellow behind it when it turns color in the fall. Very low maintenance, requires little to no pruning whatsoever if left to grow in its natural state. This was a sawtooth oak. It's currently not available, and it gave you a nice yellow color in the fall. But we're going with the chinkapin oak. And the chinkapin oak, the leaf, serration on it is very similar to the sawtooth oak. It's got a purple color when it comes out in the spring, and then it turns green. And then it turns into this kind of a lesser orange color than the what you saw in the Chinese pistache to a yellow color. So very showy trees.
Phil, can you help us understand a little bit more on what makes the sawtooth oak not available? It's just you can't find
supply and demand. Yeah, you can't, you know, people are buying them up and planting them, and the tree farms can't keep up with the demand.
Okay, thank you.
And then this was the planting scheme where we're going to alternate Chinese pistache and sawtooth oak. Of course, you can replace that with chinkapin oak all the way along Briar Hill. And we're gonna start this more likely this fall. We had a conversation at the last meeting, and I think I'm going to move it up to this fall.
Okay, awesome.
What it doesn't show is some of the trees are also going to be planted around Kids Castle because we've lost several trees there. So we're gonna plant at least a couple there and start reforesting that area as well.
And are those going to be replacements of the trees that were already there, or are they going to be these superstars?
They're going to be these superstars. Yep.
old are the trees that we're planting? Basically, are they like 5-year, 3-year?
Well, we go by caliper inch.
Okay.
So it's going to be at least, at a minimum, 2.5-inch caliper inch, which is going to get you anywhere from an 8, 7.5 to about a 10-foot tree.
Okay.
And is there a mature height difference between the Chinese pistache and the chinkapin? That's any substantial difference?
That's a great question. I don't know.
Because I'm just interested in them being stacked together. Are we going to have a tree that's 20 feet tall and a tree that's 15 feet tall, or if it's?
And to be honest with you, that variation is actually good. It's a little bit more appealing. What I'm going to do there is probably offset those.
Okay.
So you'll see them staggered like this as you're driving. You'll see one tree here and one tree here, and they'll go back and forth through there. So it's not going to be a straight line as it's shown here.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Phil, I have
Yes.
a quick question. The Bradford pears that are, well, the ones that are left,
Right.
we prune those?
Yeah, we had a arborist come by and do an evaluation like we do every year of several of our trees that we consider as problems. And that side of Unity Park has no shade whatsoever. And the habits of the individuals, especially the moms that are, pushing strollers and getting exercise, are going between McCullough Elementary and Briar Hill, and then also in the evenings for soccer, you will see that they congregate under those trees and they put chairs out there, things like that. So instead of removing them, they suggested, because that's the only shade that we have on that side, was to try to get them to grow, or to prune them so that they can last at least 2 to 3 more years while these trees get planted and get into maturity. The goal is, those trees are, they're Bradford pears.
Yeah.
The city of Highland Village will never plant Bradford pears. They're a trash tree. They're a tree that is weak branched. It's just not something that we do, much like a hackberry. We would never intentionally plant those, but we do want to make sure that we're providing some shade on that side of the park. And that's why the arborists recommend that we top them like that, because what that does is it increases a flush of growth, and that's what we're trying to get. So it'll look bad for now, but in the spring we'll have a lot of new growth that comes out, and we'll be able to provide some shade for at least another 2 to 3 years as we continue with this tree planting program. And as we get closer to those, we will remove the tree and then plant the newer trees there.
Okay. Thank you.
And I guess there's already established irrigation along those Bradford pears too?
No, but there's irrigation that we can tie into.
Okay.
Already gone through that. The point of connect, and this isn't going to show it up here, but it's up in the top left-hand corner by the parking lot.
Okay, near the road.
Yeah, near the road. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
And then for Doubletree Ranch, we're looking at pin oak and bur oak, and this is what we've been planning and partnering with the Friends of Highland Village Park Foundation. And how many, Kevin? 6?
There's a total of 6
Yeah.
so far, and this November we'll add another 2 bur oaks.
Yep. So that reforestation program with the Friends of Highland Village Park Foundation is doing fantastic. And these are the trees. This is a pin oak. It's very showy. And then here is a bur oak. Bur oak is preferred. They tolerate a wide variety of soils, and they're just a very, very hardy tree.
Where would we plant, I know this is kind of random, but the bur oaks, where would we plant those? Like in relation to Doubletree Park?
It's right there.
Oh,
You'll see wherever we have a pin oak or a bur oak, and they can go back and forth. If pin oaks aren't available, we'll plant a bur oak. We can even plant a chinkapin, but this is just to give us a trajectory, a direction to head. And to be honest with you, we've even modified this a little bit, but basically the trees are going to go on site. Like the next 2 trees that are going to be planted on the south end of the athletic field, up by that triangle, but on the grass side, to replace 2 bur oaks that were cut down probably about 3 years ago.
And the only reason I brought that up is that in like highly maintained turf with a bur oak, that'll really destroy a mower or something like that. I just didn't know, changing out one of those bur oaks for a pin oak up there in the middle of the field, potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of bringing that up because I always have to deal with those.
Yeah.
Gets caught in a real mower,
Yeah. Well,
Tons of conversation in between there. And, you know, I was just thinking about kids playing, run over them, twist their ankle. Just kind of thought about it.
and there's bur oaks right there, currently there right now, but that's something we can definitely look at. The other, you know, absolutely. We can switch between those.
I'm not saying a decision tonight, but I
Yeah.
was just thinking about the bur oaks.
Between those four between those four variety of trees. And what we try to do intentionally is try to keep them out of high play traffic areas, exactly. Like the ones that are going on the soccer field when me and Kevin met today, they're way away from the athletic fields.
That's all I was getting at.
Yep.
That's all I was getting at.
Very good. Okay, so this is the winter damage mitigation for the sake of the three that weren't here during this. I don't think you were here, Kathy, when we
No,
did
I
this.
wasn't.
But there was a tree assessment that was started, and we looked at all city parks, municipal complex, and the fire station. And we wrangled in a certified arborist, too, when we came across some things that we were unsure of. And we also got experts from the Texas A&M AgriLife to come out and talk, or at least they didn't come out, but we had a phone conversation with them. So he's talking about the oak trees and still recovering from Winter Storm Uri. In addition, they're susceptible to oak wilt. And what I found out here is that our oak trees, a lot of them that are planted, are not actually Texas native oaks. They are what is called Monterey oaks, and you'll see them out here because their growth pattern is much stubbier. And they're more acclimated to hotter environments because of that, where the Texas oaks are a lot more robust and a lot taller. And after this was pointed out to me, I'm starting to notice them all over the place because they're not the Texas live oaks that I grew up with. Big, burly, massive, widespread. They're more short and squatty. Well, Winter Storm Uri came in, and it decimated a large percentage of these Monterey oaks because they were not acclimated and they're not native to this part of Texas. And that's what you're seeing out there, and a lot of damage with these live oaks that are out there, and specifically they're live oaks. You'll see the cambium, the bark sloughing off, just popping off because of the freeze damage. And that will continue to happen for the next, well, since this, 2 to 3 years. It takes about that long for the tree to go into full decline. And if you drive out of here and head down Brazos Boulevard, you'll see some of those live oaks. You'll see some of the bark that has popped off. There was one here at the fire station that we had, actually 2 that we had to take out. So we're going to be very intentional. One, I don't plant live oaks typically in a park setting because the amount of maintenance. Live oaks are one of the most extreme maintenance trees that are out there because the amount of trimming and water sprouts that pop up every year. I love them, but man, they cost a lot of money to maintain. So we're going to go with trees that are good on the pocketbook and still look beautiful.
For a long time.
Yes, for a long time, exactly. So working with experts, like I said, Texas A&M AgriLife 2011, unprecedented drought. They lost 500 million trees back then, is what they have recorded. And then existing stress from frost cracks and ability to endure expansion and contraction of the bark and the wood that results from freezing of water inside of the tree cambium. And then no need for preventative treatments is what we were told, just monitor and address as needed. But once that cambium, that live cambium pops off, it's girdled, it's dead. It's in slow decline. It's not coming back. So this is what you're seeing. This is the fire, the one on your right, no, your left. Well, both of them are, but the one on your left was one of the Monterey oaks that was here on this corner as you exit the fire department, and then this one is on the other side, back in the field, back there. So these two showed signs of stress after the winter storm almost immediately, and the bark sloughing off, and that's what you'll see right there. It's not insect or disease, it's literally the cambium froze. And then you get insects and disease in there. so the action, moving forward to continue to partner with the Friends of Highland Village Park Foundation for tree planting projects. Got an Arbor Day event coming up that we're already planning. And then I asked for $7,000 to be put into the budget this year over the next several years to help with the reforestation of our city. And the first read made it, so it looks like it's going to stay in there. So this money will go into Unity starting this fall.
Awesome.
And any questions? Nope.
That's good.
I don't think so.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to our Village Glows update.
Okay, so I was asked to bring an update for our Village Glows and what that looks like with the understanding that there's going to be some changes at the shops with some construction work that they're doing out there. There we go. All right. Whoa, hey, there we go. All right, so let's start with this one first. Okay, so almost in the center of the picture you see there, there's a black roof, right? All right, so to the downstream from it is the existing place where the Village Glow is, and it has that AstroTurf, looks like an oval there.
Yeah.
And that's where the improvements are going to be made, right? They're gonna put parking in there, some landscape, and they're creating some play spaces and some, they're trying to activate the space, which is very common now, and they're bringing Parks and Recreation elements into it so that they can hold people there. So they've made some, the individual that is ahead of the project came and did a presentation at the last council meeting, and it's in the work session if you want to see it. If it wasn't the last one, it was the one just before that. And it shows all of the elements that are going in there. All right, so that's right where the Village Glow is, right? And moving forward, they're still going to be able to have that opportunity to do there because they're going to build it in a way that you can close that area for events. And they're putting a permanent stage up there and things like that. I'm not going to go into too much detail of it because that's, I don't want to misspeak. Okay, so I would encourage you to go back and look at the work session, or actually it was probably the regular session that it was in. All right, so moving up towards the cinema, all right, and the area in between what was the Rockfish and Blue Goose is where the Village Glow will be. All right, they're going to put the tree there, and they're going to put a stage there, and you can see it's got great room, and they're going to shut off right in front of the theater, that road on the left and the right sides. So it's going to give you almost the same amount of space, if not even more. And Rockfish right now is vacant. They have moved out, so they're going to utilize that for this event, including hopefully opening it up for restrooms as well. And they might have snow cones in there and other things like that. So they're going to activate that space for the Village Glow. So this is how that looks, this year, all right? Next year may be a different story, or it may go back there, okay? So if we go back, I forgot I put these bubbles in there. So this is where it is now, and this is where it'll be moving forward. Way to go, Phil. All right, so here's the layout. It's in black and white. Oh, if you turn around, my cursor shows up better on this screen. Sorry about that, but you can see the Christmas tree location. Here's Blue Goose. Here's where Rockfish was. And then you have your stage here. You have your portalets here. Hot cocoa, cookie tent, face painting, carriage ride. So you can see all of the elements are still here. Is there any questions about this? The orange areas indicate where barricades will be placed. This is the road right here, and this is Snuffers, and this is where Barnes & Nobles was, or no, what's on this corner? Help me. I forget.
Hibachi.
Yeah.
Hibachi, yeah. So it'll be blocked off. So all of this will be open for traffic, okay? Let's see, red light fixture. Oh, these are just light placements that we're putting out there to make sure we can get people out of the parking lot safely afterwards.
That's the yellow you said?
Huh?
Yellow?
No, the red.
Oh, the red. Okay.
Yeah, yellow squares are light fixtures. You were right, I'm sorry. Red squares are light, they're both light fixtures with additional power.
I think red might be the permanent ones, maybe?
Maybe. Yeah,
And then the yellow are the additional ones added for the event.
probably, yeah. Yeah. Okay. And they've been meeting for, I don't know, at least 4 to 6 weeks now. We partner with them. It's their event. We provide some logistical support, like with the barricades, blocking off those areas, help them set up tents. But, this event is the shops. They pay for the stage. They pay for, anything, the tree lighting, the Santa, all of that stuff. Is there any questions about that, now that you know where we are?
Proud of that, aren't you?
Yeah, because you know what I did? I made this PowerPoint like
Well, I guess we should have said
45
something.
minutes before I got here. But what'd you say?
I guess we should have said something because we had it.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, you do it? It's on there?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right. So any questions? No? Okay. Good deal.
All right, Corp of Engineer update.
Yep, so we got a new lake manager. The guy is pretty awesome. I forgot his name. So that, I guess that's 56 and getting older. I need to get out there and play some more golf or something. But he's a resident of Highland Village.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes, he is. And I say that because he's very appreciative of the culture that we have here, especially in the parks. He uses the parks all the time, him and his men's group and his kids and things like that. Had a lot of complimentary things to say. And we went out to lunch, me and the deputy director, and basically laid out all the projects that we got coming up between cabins and a revitalization of the day use area, Coppers Branch, Wichita Forest and signage, name it, anything that was on the core property that we have for initiatives. And absolutely loved it. And then we talked about what do they call it, Ski Cove? Is that what it's?
Skiers Cove.
What's it called?
Skiers. Cove.
Yeah, Skiers Cove. He says the good thing is the last time he went out there, the buoys are still there and no one has taken them. So he's very happy about that. And just like when the Rangers came out, it's a slow-moving machine. And whatever they do here, they have to do across the entire lake. But they do know that there's a higher concentration of boat docks in Highland Village than there is anywhere else on the lake, and he's very aware of that. So as soon as they can come up with a plan, they're building a strategic plan that involves an opportunity to provide information for folks to disassemble in themselves, and without, the Corps coming in and have to cite folks or destroy them or remove them themselves. He's wanting to do a marketing campaign, an engagement campaign, making sure that we, provide this information well in advance to the homeowners associations and the individuals. If they're not in a homeowners association, which I think 98% of them are in that area, and giving them really the opportunity to understand why they need to be removed and the damage that it's doing to the shoreline, and it's tremendous what's happening there, and they've seen it over the years, and so he's working on that with his team, and he's only been in the position for about 3 weeks now. So he's meeting with folks all over the lake. We all want to get FaceTime with them, to tell them, meet them and develop a relationship right away, and then just explain our projects and then our needs. And he was very honest, he just doesn't have the resources, just like the ranger said, and so he's going to need our help. And I said, well, we're here to help in any capacity that we can. So I'll continue to provide updates as things progress, but I think he's going to be a lot of fun to work with. Yep.
Wonderful.
Any questions on that?
Is that a civilian position that?
He is a civilian, and Rob before him was a civilian as well. Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir. And he came out of the Fort Worth office. So he understands real estate really well. So. And then, since we're on this, and I'll bring this, at a future park board meeting, we're still investigating it, but one of the things that he brought up in that meeting was doing a life jacket loaner program at the beaches. And he sent me a heat map of where fatalities were and things like that. So he wants us to consider that program, and I said, we'll do it. Just provide the information. But right now, the city of Louisville does it at, what's the park over here by the golf course? Yeah, at Lake Park, and then there are several other places that do it, not only here in the state of Texas, but nationally. And those jackets are typically donated by like Lions Club, Rotary Club,
Yeah, there's some
organizations.
nonprofits out there.
Yeah.
That's their sole mission.
Yep. So we're developing the plan right now, and what that looks like and how to roll it out and how many stations we need. So it's going to be good for Highland
Yeah,
Village.
that's great.
Yeah, and I'll bring that back in a future report.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil.
Absolutely.
Any other comments on that?
I'm good, thanks.
Discuss attending the NRPA conference exhibit hall.
Yep, so this is all things, I mean, a national conference comes to your city like once every, 25, 30 years. I don't remember the last time it was in this area, but this, for you as a board, you have the opportunity, and if you can't, no big deal, but typically when a national conference comes, they invite city council and they invite park board to attend because it's there, it's in their backyard. But going to the trade show is tremendous, it's awesome. You have everything from new equipment that is out there, playground equipment, dock equipment, tree mitigation programs, you name it, lighting systems, outdoor features, stages, portable stages. From athletic equipment, it's a whole lot, and it's big. So if you wanted to see and what that looks like, you have an opportunity to do that. You'll just need to let me know. And the plan is, like I said in the email, is to let me read the email. Let's see, we have Tuesday, October the 10th, and Wednesday, October the 11th. Staff will provide a shuttle service for both days to here in the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center. So we plan on leaving around 11 a.m., arrive at 11:45, maybe stop for lunch, and then proceed to the conference center by 1 p.m. and then head back by 3:30. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and we'll get you signed up, okay? And that's pretty much it.
And there's 2 days for options, Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yes, there's 2 days. Yes, sir.
All right, so that brings us to 11, discussion on future agenda items. A board member may inquire about a subject of which notice has not been given. A statement of specific factual information or the recitation of existing policy may be given. Any deliberation shall be limited to a proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting. Do we have any future agenda items that we might want to discuss? No?
Don't have any.
All right, well, that brings us to our next meeting scheduled for October 16th, 2023. And I will adjourn this meeting at 6:53.